Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hearties! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, joined by my wonderful co host, Brennan, to talk about When Calls the Heart, Season 13, Episode 10 Blessings.
It was written by David Gray and directed by Martin Wood. Nathan enlists Allie's help for a top secret mission and brings Charlotte on a heartfelt visit. Lucas and Edie grow closer from afar.
What were your first impressions on this episode?
Oh, Nicole, this whole episode was dreams coming true.
Yeah.
I'm so in love with this episode, and I cannot wait to talk about this episode with you.
Yes, this episode was amazing. Definitely one of the best of the season and the series, in my opinion.
Oh, I completely agree. I think this is one of the best episodes ever and is one that I will continue to watch over and over again.
Yes, and well done to David Gray on the writing
Mm.
and directing by Martin. I
Yeah,
think it was Julie who has stated that David has written a lot on procedural type of shows, and it showed.
it definitely showed. His talent really showed this
Mhm.
episode. I was
Yeah.
very impressed. I think he wrote it very well.
Yes, I think so too. So, what was your emotional takeaway? One word to describe this episode.
Oh, just one word.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited. I am so happy and excited. And this
Yeah.
episode just had me in tears, good tears.
Yeah.
But yes.
I know this is breaking a rule, but I'll say two words, healing and pivotal,
Oh, for sure. Yes,
for obvious
absolutely.
reasons.
Yeah. No, those are two great words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the heartbeat of this episode? Something that reminds you why you love the show.
Oh, well, I love Nathan and Elizabeth and Allie and Charlotte and LJ and just how this family is continuing to blend and steps are being made to move forward. And how long have we been waiting for this? And especially those of us that have been Team Nathan for so long and have just been dreaming of these moments with Nathan and Elizabeth. And that's why I love this episode because I've been waiting for this since, well, I mean, season season 7, season 8,
Yeah.
when I thought all of this was going to go down. So
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful it's all finally happening.
Me too. I will echo your thoughts. I just love the community aspect of it, the Mountie work, the father-daughter moments, the little romance we got with Nathan and Elizabeth, and some with Mike and May I thought was sweet. Some comedic moments that made me LOL. I'm sure we will
Yeah.
talk about those.
Yes.
Yeah, all around a great episode.
It was a great episode, wasn't it? Just all of it.
So, Hope Valley happenings. How did the town function in this episode? I think that's pretty obvious.
Hmm.
Nathan and Bill and Rosemary and Georgie working together on the case. And
Yes.
then I'd say Mike and May holding the pottery class for Elizabeth and Allie, which
Yeah.
helps Allie with the ring, but they don't know that.
They don't know that, but
Mike and May, that is. They don't know that it's for the ring.
right, right. At least not yet. Maybe someday they'll get the inside
Yeah.
scoop. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I love the team of Bill, Nathan, Georgie, and Rosemary. And especially this episode, you can really tell that they're all so comfortable working together and they all love working together and they just have their niche with each other. Like they've kind of found where each of them uh is strongest, in their team, and they each bring something different to the table. And Mike and May's story was absolutely just so loving and heartwarming. And this is the Mike and May that I love.
Mhm.
Yes, it's fun when they're silly, but this is the Mike and May and the stories that I love. And they got to be part of the ring process, which is so sweet. And they don't even know it. At least
Yep.
not yet.
Yes. Who would you say stepped up for the community or showed leadership or compassion? There were a few people that I could think of, but I'll let you answer first.
Nathan was truly, I think, one of the leading characters this episode. Obviously, it really was all about his journey, and he had so much screen time,
Yeah.
which I was so happy about. Just amazing. And I think the team still leading the case, you Georgie, Bill. I mean, there were a few for sure.
That's what I wrote down. Rosemary helping Nathan, Bill, and Georgie with the investigation by doing the drip test with the
Yeah.
insurance guy. And it's already been pointed out the actor that played the insurance guy in this episode is the same actor that played, I think, another insurance guy in season 3 that tried to scam Dottie with the pension.
Mhm. Yeah, I recently just watched that episode, and it is neat that they brought that actor back.
Yes, different character though, I believe.
Yeah, I think he had a different name, and
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And I really, really like how the drip test was Nathan's
Mm.
idea, because then he
Yeah.
really kind of got to lead everyone else. And yeah, that was great.
Acts of kindness or community spirit. I wrote down two. So LJ giving the drawing that he made for Charlotte so that she can remember her family, and then Lee encouraging Lucas and giving him advice about Evie.
Mm. Oh, good one. Wow. Everybody was kind.
Mhm.
I think I also would say, I mean, Ned, he really was also a part of this ring journey with Nathan and Allie and ordering that beautiful ring box. And I think Nathan too was very, very kind. Just his conversations with Charlotte, asking for her blessing, and ultimately taking her with him to Jack's grave. And I think Mike and May too were kind, having a class for Allie and Elizabeth. And yeah,
Everybody.
there's so much kindness. I
Yes.
love it.
Hearts of the Valley. 2 to 3 major choices made in this episode. I think that's pretty obvious. Nathan and Charlotte deciding to go to Jack's grave together. Ned keeping Operation Ring Size a secret. I think that is a big one because keeping a secret from Florence.
That's a big task. That,
Yep. And maybe Lucas too.
oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that scene with Lee was probably the first moment where he decides that he doesn't want to hold back anymore.
hmm That was such a good scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That whole monologue was just so beautiful.
What would you say those choices revealed about growth or fear? Or maybe just in general, what you think those choices revealed about their character?
I totally agree with you with the choices that were made in this episode. I mean Nathan choosing he's finally going to pick a ring for Elizabeth, and that made him and Allie have to go on this whole journey of finding her ring size. And I totally agree with you. I think, because Nathan, I think him choosing also to ask Charlotte and Jack for their blessings, he didn't have to do that. That's a total choice, but he's such a respectful man. He wants to do the honorable thing. And I think for him, that's major growth.
Mm.
I mean, he's been wanting to propose to Elizabeth for years, we
Yeah.
believe. And I think just growth for him as
Mm.
a man and a Mountie to have these conversations with Charlotte and sit at Jack's grave and almost in a way kind of confront his past,
Yeah.
but really just choosing to have a peaceful moment with Jack and acknowledging him. And I totally agree with you about Lucas is you can tell as he's saying that monologue and he's saying those words, he's almost kind of talking back and forth to himself. Like, why am I this way? Of course,
Mhm.
that's why I'm like this way. Well, this is what I've done, but I don't want to do that anymore. And I think he's kind of realizing, okay, this is where I've been. Now, what do I want? Where do I want to be? And I think just him saying those words out loud was total growth for him as he's thinking about his future and Edie.
Yeah, I think so too. And with Charlotte, I think it just shows how much she's grown
Yeah.
in the sense that, she has had all this grief for so many years. She
Mhm.
hasn't been able to visit Jack's grave. But I think, once Nathan came to her, she realized it's time. Time
Yes.
to move out of that grief and into the future with my family.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you just brought up Charlotte because definitely Charlotte had major growth in this episode and she conquered a huge fear. At the beginning of the episode, she still was not ready to go to Jack's grave. And I think she wasn't ready yet to face that grief. And maybe she was really afraid of, well, if I go, all these feelings that I might have, I don't want to face that. I'm not ready to deal with that yet. And she just totally came full circle in one episode and ultimately deciding at the end of the episode, yes, I'm going to go. It's time. And I cannot wait to talk more about this scene with you because I absolutely love, love, love that she and Nathan went together and she chose to go with Nathan.
And for Ned, I'd say it shows how much he's grown because I think at the beginning of the series, if I remember correctly, he was kind of like Florence, the busybody.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's learned not to be so nosy and
Hmm.
to keep secrets,
Hmm.
town secrets.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned that because Ned, he really has become someone who, the community feels comfortable confiding in, and he really has become that trusted listening friend of,
Yeah.
obviously many of our characters know I can go to Ned and I can talk to him and he's going to
Yeah.
be trustworthy and he's going to be loyal. And I love that about his character.
Yes. Going to Hope Valley highlights, why don't we just talk about these amazing scenes in this episode? There's so many to talk about. I wrote top three, but I know that is probably impossible.
I mean, pretty much all of the scenes were a
Everything.
top scene.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about it, girl. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
So why don't you start, Brennan, with your top scenes?
My top three, well, my top three were pretty easy for me to pick.
Mhm.
Nathan, Allie, and Ned looking at the rings, and Nathan and Charlotte outside the schoolhouse when he shows her the ring and asks for her blessing, and then Nathan and Charlotte at Jack's grave.
Yeah. So I wrote those down too, as well as Lucas and Lee's conversation about Edie. That was such a good scene.
That was a great scene. I completely agree. Top scene for sure.
I just love how Lee is encouraging Lucas a lot this season.
Mhm. Me too. It's so good to see these two back together as friends. They've been great friends for a while now, and I just love that Lucas continues to feel comfortable confiding in Lee. Lee just always listens, and I completely agree with you. He gives such great advice back to him.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
loved their friendship.
I do too. I love it. It's so great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're getting more of them together.
Yeah. Going to Nathan choosing Elizabeth's engagement ring with Allie by his side. That was so sweet. And Ned was there helping. Beautiful moment.
Oh, Nicole, I this is just a scene in the series that I am just obsessed with. And it's one of those scenes and moments. It just still seems so surreal, doesn't it? Like you're watching it and you're realizing it's happening. And then, you're thinking, I can't believe this is really happening. This is really happening. We all were, Ned and Allie and Nathan, they all were so just, this is finally happening. I can't believe it's happening. And that's exactly how I feel, how I'm sure many of us feel. It was just so beautiful. And when Ned opens the box, first of all, those rings were gorgeous. When he opens the box, you can just see Nathan's just glowing. He's just so, so happy looking at these rings. And Allie and Ned just both get so emotional. I mean, they all do. And I love how Allie just out loud says to Nathan, I love Elizabeth so
Oh,
much. And I can't believe this is finally happening because we know how much Elizabeth has meant to Allie since she arrived in town and how much Allie wanted Elizabeth and Nathan to be together and how much she fought for it and tried to make it happen herself. And she's been through a lot with them too, especially in the early
yeah.
days.
And I love how Nathan is so concerned with Allie's opinion of the ring.
Yes. Yes. I love that too so much that he is really including her in every step and he wants her to be a part of it. He wants her opinion because it is really in a way, it's the two of them, joining Elizabeth and
Exactly.
LJ. And so I absolutely love that they made Allie part of this process. And Ned is just so sweet and loving, and he's just so excited. He really was all of us in this episode. It's just so beautiful. Obviously, I could talk about it forever.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
He says the ring makes it real.
Mm-hmm. Which is so true. And then when Nathan said, "Oh, hold your horses," she hasn't said yes yet. And
But
then
she
Allie says, "But she will." Oh, Nicole, this is one of the best scenes ever. One of the
will.
best scenes ever. And oh my goodness, it just was so beautiful.
And for all the people that are saying, oh, what if she doesn't say yes? She's gonna say yes.
Of course, she is going to say yes. Of course, she is. It's been foreshadowed. We know how much she loves Nathan. Have you seen the look on her face when she looks at this man and how touchy she is? And she really has been such an initiator this season with let's go on dates, let's take a break, let's get your mind off things, let's get out in the morning. She loves Nathan so much. She
Mhm.
loves Nathan so much. She is going to say yes. Friends, we do not have to worry.
No, you can see how much she loves this man every time she looks at him.
Every time she looks at him, every single time, even with Charlotte there, even with talking about Jack, she is still so in love with
Yes.
Nathan.
The love is written all over her face every time she looked at him.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. It's so true. It's so obvious.
Yeah. And I am so excited to see what the ring is going to look like.
Yes, I know, me too. I really did appreciate how we got to see all of the rings, but they're not showing us which one yet, which I love because I do want to be surprised.
Yes. Which one do you think he picked?
I forgot to remember what number it is exactly, but there are a few in there that you can tell are just more simple and maybe, a little bit smaller, but still so beautiful because Nathan is not going to pick the biggest ring in the box. And that's not Elizabeth anyway.
Mm-mm. Well, I do think it's going to be simple. I don't think it's going to be one of the ones we saw with the small stone because that probably wouldn't show up on camera, like I think Sarah was saying.
True. True.
So I feel like it's going to be one that would show up more. I think the post that Sarah and Julie did
Mhm.
about the ring and, asking everyone which one we think he picked. I think I wrote 4, 15, 29, or 30.
Hmm. Yes.
One of the ones on the first row, I think it was one that looked like it was a blue stone,
Ooh, I know the one you're talking about.
like the
Yeah.
top corner.
Yes.
Second from the right. I think 15 was the second or third row. First one on the right. It was the one that looked like it was kind of like a yellowish stone. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of looked square.
Yeah.
And then 29, I think, was the bottom row. And second from the right, the one that kind of looked like a diamond, the part that the stone would be in looked like it was shaped as a diamond. And then the one next to it.
Yes. Oh, such great choices.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, any of those would be so beautiful. I
Yes.
can't wait.
But I'm sure whichever one Nathan picked will be beautiful.
It'll be so beautiful. And you can tell he kind of eyed it right away of,
Yes.
yes.
And I was trying to follow his eye movement. Now, I could be wrong, but it kind of looked like he was looking at one on the top row.
Yeah. I was doing the same thing. I was trying to kind of watch like his arm and
Yeah.
like which direction he was pointing. And I agree with you. It does kind of look like
He's
when you're looking at the ring box, like kind of one of like somewhere on the top.
kind
Yeah.
of close to where I said.
Yeah, yeah. Same. Even his eyes. I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with you. Like, okay, his eyes aren't like looking like down like it's the bottom of the box. It kind of looked like it was
Yeah.
like he's eyeing like the top.
Yes. And of course, these next scenes, especially the last one, I think was one of the best in the entire series.
Mhm.
And I joined these two scenes together because they were one right after the other. Nathan and Charlotte's heart to heart on the bench outside the school and
Yeah.
church, and then the visit to Jack's grave.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love that they showed these scenes back to back.
Beautiful. I love how Nathan and Charlotte have that morning conversation. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
And he shows her the ring. And I didn't catch it until someone else pointed it out. Did you notice the ring box is a heart?
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. And I love that he showed Charlotte the ring.
Yes, me
I
too.
love that so much.
And I just love that he asked for her blessing. He didn't have to do that.
Oh,
It was so sweet how he said, I don't just love Elizabeth, I love your grandson too, with all of my heart.
oh. It gives me chills just talking about it.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness, Nicole. This scene, we just love the relationship between Charlotte and Nathan. I just love the two of them so much. I'm so happy and appreciative and grateful for how they wrote them. They've never been at odds. They obviously bonded over the summer living together. And you can just tell they have this natural ease now with each other. And they're just always happy to see each other. And I totally agree with you. Nathan had no problem just laying his heart out to her and asking for her blessing. You're completely right. He didn't have to do that. And letting her know, yes, how much he loves Elizabeth and LJ. And you can just see on her face, just her smile. And she immediately says, of course, you have my blessing. Nothing would make me happier. Oh my gosh, Charlotte. And just Nathan also saying, there's someone else's blessing I'd like to have. And in that moment, she just immediately knows, like, this is the moment. I'm gonna go with Nathan. I love that she goes with him. I do because it would have been so easy for her to go with Elizabeth and LJ, but I love that she decides to go with Nathan. I just I love that so much.
In that grave scene, I have not cried like that since Jack's death.
Honestly, girl, right? True. I was crying when Nathan was asking her for blessing in that whole scene. And oh my goodness, yes, yes. I think I've told you before, and I know I've said this a lot recently, but really, when we found out the connection that Nathan and Jack had, I've been dreaming of a Nathan at Jack's grave scene. So probably since season 8, this has been a dream of mine. So when this actually happened, just finally seeing it on the screen, it was so much better than I could have imagined. And yes, just I had tears the whole time, the whole
I'm
time.
even crying right now just thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, can you believe that happened?
Like I just said, I have not cried like that
Mhm.
watching this show since Jack's death.
Mhm. That's powerful, right? That shows just how emotional and powerful this scene was.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And just Nathan's whole speech to Jack, he's talking about LJ and how bright he is and how sweet he is and, how blessed he is to have Elizabeth by his side and that she chose him and his vow.
Oh my gosh.
And I give you my vow as a Mountie that I will love and protect Elizabeth and your son until my last breath.
Oh, I'm not laughing. It just makes me just so happy and joyful, and just to hear those words from Nathan. We've known that about Nathan. That's why he came to Hope Valley. But to hear him say those words again in such a beautiful, passionate way, and to hear him say those words to Jack, and he's in his Mountie uniform, and oh my goodness. And again, this is a choice, right? Nathan doesn't have to do this. He could have just said, okay, thanks, Charlotte. All right, gonna go propose. But he chose to do this. And it just shows, again, what kind of man Nathan is. This was important to him. Jack has always been important to him. He's always honored him. This was another way of him doing that. And just speechless, really. It's,
Yeah, for sure.
oh my goodness.
And I lost it with Charlotte's
Oh.
talk to Jack. That is when I lost it, like completely.
Mhm. Oh, Brooke Shields. She just I I just I'm so grateful that she came back,
Mhm.
and she just jumped back into Charlotte's shoes. Like no time had passed. She hasn't been Charlotte for 10 years. And I was just so impressed with her emotion in this scene, and she just knew exactly how Charlotte was feeling in that moment and how much Jack means to Charlotte. And I was just so impressed with her acting and how she portrayed that moment, because is kind of like, yeah, she's been Charlotte this whole time. Just round of applause,
Mhm.
because that was one of
It's
the best performances, I think.
mhm.
Absolutely. And how it was filmed,
Yeah.
and just seeing Nathan behind her, just supporting her. And when he puts his hand on her
Oh,
shoulder, oh my gosh. And
but
then there's moments where she looks up at Nathan,
the
and
very
she says, he won me over.
about
You
to
can
say
tell
that.
Charlotte and Nathan, they love each other. They really do. And it's so beautiful. And even when she stands back up and Nathan kind of puts his hand on her back, I'm assuming, but he kind of puts his hand out to comfort her. And they just kind of stand together and have a moment. And it's just so much better than anything I could have ever imagined. And I loved that it was the two of them. How special is this moment for them and their relationship? This is something that they're always going to have, that no one else had but the two of them. And just the cadence of the monologues, just every word was, I really think, just so intentional. Just the journey that both Charlotte and Nathan have had. And I really appreciated, going back to what Nathan said is he first is honoring him. The first thing he says is, "You're still part of Hope Valley, especially with Elizabeth. You're still in everyone's hearts." And then he says, "I'm going to ask Elizabeth to marry me." He makes it about Jack
Mhm.
first. And I just love how he told Jack out loud, "I'm going to ask Elizabeth to marry me." But I really, really just appreciate that they both honored Jack. It wasn't just, "Hey, Jack, I'm going to ask Elizabeth to marry me."
Mhm.
Uh, cool, thanks. They both were so intentional in their words and wanted to verbally honor him and just, let his spirit know, "Hey, you're still here. You're still so loved." Just the way it was written was just so, so beautiful. I was just so impressed.
I was too. And before we move on, I think we should just give a round of applause. Of course, everyone did a great job in this episode, but Brooke and Kevin, especially, and Kevin with the range in this episode from the comedic to the flirty to the heartfelt to the emotional.
Mhm.
He did it all in this episode.
Mhm. He did it all. And I love that you brought that up. I completely agree with you because obviously we know Kevin is an incredible actor, but to see, like you said, his whole range and what he can do all in one episode was such a treat. And he did such a fantastic job. I think this is Kevin's best episode. I really do. I
Yeah,
really do.
his
And I
best.
think this is one of Nathan's best episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, honorable mentions. I wrote down a few. So, Nathan and Elizabeth's duet in the street,
Yeah,
that was adorable.
was adorable. And again, they are so flirty,
Yes.
so happy. It just it was just another beautiful heart-melting moment. And it's like they are the only two people in the
Yep.
world and they're just making each other so
Yep.
happy. They just can't stop
Yeah.
smiling. I love that he kisses her hand and they kind of
Oh,
start to dance. And then just when she looks up and says, "Oh, see you for dinner tonight," and he says, "Oh, I wouldn't forget it." And oh my gosh, they're so flirty. I love it.
for sure. Walking with my dame. The stars all spell her name. It's light outside.
That was so cute. And, Erin, she has a beautiful
Yeah.
voice. And obviously, Elizabeth was singing that way on purpose. But we got to hear Kevin and Nathan's beautiful voice
Yeah.
because he does have a beautiful singing voice.
And I think this was the first hand kiss.
Was it?
I think.
I think you're right, actually. I think it was. And I love how when he's kissing her hand, he's also looking at her. Oh, oh my goodness. And
Adorable.
his expression when he's trying to look at the ring. And then he quick changes back to just smiling when she looks at
Yep.
him. It's so good.
And I love the two women in the background just smiling and making faces.
Like, oh, there's the Mountie and the teacher. How cute are they?
I love how, we can see the facial expression of one of the women, and she's like,
Yeah. How fun was that for those extras? Girl, I would be doing the same. I'd be like, there are Kevin and Aaron right there, and they are being Nathan and Elizabeth so adorably. Oh my goodness, I would have been so
yeah.
happy. Like, can I just watch them all day? Just put me in whatever scene they're in.
Yep. And then I also wrote down Charlotte telling Allie and LJ the story. I think it was, something about dealing with the skunk.
Mhm.
And then the heart to heart with Elizabeth, when LJ had made the drawing of her on the island by herself.
That was a beautiful scene. That was so good. Just beautiful performances by Aaron and Brooke.
That was a beautiful scene. And then, of course, Operation Ring Size. All those scenes were just great. And The one when they're trying to get Elizabeth to take off her ring to wash the dishes, and then
Mhm.
Charlotte offers, and Nathan's like, "No!"
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And then when Elizabeth, she says, "Well, if you insist, thank you." And Nathan's like, "Yeah, thanks." You taking notes? What?
What?
For the investigation. And Elizabeth is like, "Oh, that's smart." Just,
And then,
oh,
did you notice the look on Nathan's face when he shoves the piece of paper back in his pocket? He's like,
yeah. Just like, come on, man. Throw me a bone. We've been trying this all day. Oh my gosh, Nicole, I love Operation Ring Size so much. And I love so much that Nathan brought Allie into it, and she's so excited. They're coming up with all of these plans, and for each one, they're just so confident that it's going to work. And you can just see the excitement on their face when, they kind of think, oh, it's working, it's working.
"Nope."
Oh, it's not working. But I just love that they are a team in this and they're doing it together. And it just, oh, it's just so
Yeah.
good.
And the baking one, when she grabs the spoon, I was like, "For real."
Hmm. And when Nathan and Allie kind of look at each other like,
Okay.
oh,
And then I don't know what Allie was holding in her hand, but she walks into the jail or the Mountie office and she's like, "I got it." And she sees her dad and his facial expression. And then she opens the door more and she sees Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is like, "Got what?"
that was so good. And Allie is such a quick thinker. She's so smart, just coming up with that whole
Birthday party
idea
for
for
Oliver.
Oliver's birthday party next year. And Elizabeth, she's like, "Wow, you're really on it." And then Nathan and us as viewers, we can tell that Nathan is, totally acting. He's like, "Yeah, well, what's going on?" And then Elizabeth is so sweet. She's like, "Oh, well, do you want to come with us to pick up LJ and tell us about it?" And oh, I bet Charlotte would have ideas. And like, it's just all going over Elizabeth's head. And then the way Allie leaves and just Nathan yells out, "Bye, sweetie." It's so good.
And Jada nailed the facial expressions in that scene when she closes the door.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh, it's so good. I really love how, even though the plan isn't really working at first as they had hoped, Elizabeth is buying everything. Like she has no clue. I love that she doesn't catch on to anything.
yeah. Even in the clay-making scene, Allie tries to have Elizabeth take off her ring, which she does. And before she sits it on the table, Allie's like, "I can hold that for you." And Elizabeth's like, "No, thank you." You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
"I'll just sit here." And then
Yeah.
Allie comes up with the blindfold thing. And May's like, "Why don't we just close our eyes?"
Yes. I love how everyone is just believing Allie. She says, "Oh, I heard that if you have a blindfold,
Oh,
it really helps you connect with the clay." And
right.
then and everyone believes her. May's like, "Oh, yeah, why don't we close our eyes?" It was like, "Oh, okay." Like I just love how convincing Allie is, like that no one is arguing with her or like everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, sure. I totally believe that." And
Yeah.
even the way, Allie brought it up in Elizabeth's house, she says, "Oh yeah, May offered to do a class." And Elizabeth, it's so cute how excited Elizabeth is to do it with Allie. And
Yeah.
she says, "Oh, I'm so
Mhm.
excited." And it's so sweet
Yeah.
because you can just even see in that moment just how much Allie means to Elizabeth and how excited Elizabeth is to go and do something with Allie, just the two of them.
Yeah. And well done to Allie for making the impression of the ring with the clay.
Yes. Yes, she did that so well. And it was just so cute how into it everybody was getting with their eyes closed. Like Mike, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really connecting with it." And Elizabeth is like, "I can feel its softness." And
Yeah.
like, they really do keep their eyes
Mhm.
closed. And, Allie, she's learned. She's so
Yeah.
stealthy. And also, just shout out, it was adorable to have Ben and Aaron in a scene together.
Yeah. That was great. What moment would you say spoke the loudest or had the biggest impact? I wrote down a few.
I definitely have a few in mind. I mean, my top three scenes all spoke the
Yeah.
loudest to
Yeah.
me, just Nathan and Allie picking the ring and Nathan asking for Charlotte's blessing and visiting Jack's grave. I mean, really, those were three huge steps forward for Elizabeth and Nathan and Allie and LJ and Charlotte, all in one episode.
I wrote down Nathan's expressions in the ring scene. Those spoke volumes. You can see how happy he is, and you know, he's probably thinking in his mind, this is finally happening.
Hmm. Yes, I think you're so right. You can see on his face he's just in awe of, wow, I am actually finally looking at a ring for Elizabeth. I've wanted this for years and it's right in front of me. It's
Yeah.
here.
And also, it looked like Nathan was very emotional in that scene, like he was about to cry.
Yeah.
I caught two moments where it looked like
Hmm.
he was about to start tearing up.
Hmm. Oh, I definitely think he had tears in his eyes. And that moment when Ned is tearing up and Allie is starting to cry. And when Nathan said, "Oh, you too, Ned," all three of them it's so beautiful how emotional they're all getting. They're just all so happy and
Yeah.
excited.
And I also wrote down Charlotte's goodbyes to her family.
Mm.
Nathan telling her she'll see them again soon. I think that was foreshadowing.
Oh, I think so too. And I think that was his way of saying, "Oh, you'll be back either for a wedding or when we're married."
Yes.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth noticing the exchange between Nathan and Charlotte.
Mhm. When Charlotte says, "Go get her, slugger," and she
Yeah.
kind of gives him that look.
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. This whole season, Charlotte is literally saying to Nathan, like, propose, dude. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you got the ring, you have my blessing. We went to Jack's grave. Like, all right, go do it.
Yep. And I'd say also Charlotte saying Nathan is like a son to her.
That was so beautiful.
Mhm.
So beautiful. Because again, it's a choice of words, right? Like she could have said, "No, he's not my son," or, "Oh, no, he's my daughter-in-law's boyfriend." Like, no, she chose to say he's like a son to me, which
That's sweet.
again says how she feels about
Yeah.
Nathan and how much he means to her.
Mhm. And fun fact, I'm sure a lot of Hardys already know this, but the other woman in the car with Charlotte or Brooke is Brooke's real life daughter, Rowan.
Yes. Yes, I was so excited because I'd
Mhm.
been waiting to see what scene she would show up in. So immediately I knew right away that's her daughter. That was so fun.
Quote of the episode. I think we're probably thinking the same one.
Yes. I think so much of what Nathan said to Charlotte and to
Mhm.
Jack, Nathan's vow to Jack, and what Nathan said to Charlotte as he's
Mhm.
asking for her blessing, and Allie saying she loves Elizabeth so much. And besides the Grant Thornton family,
Mhm.
what Lee said
Yeah.
to Lucas
Yeah.
after Lucas gave that beautiful speech of how he's been
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. I think all of those are great. I wrote down what Lee said to Lucas. Don't let past experiences keep you from being happy now. And then two in the Charlotte and Elizabeth scene, what Elizabeth says to Charlotte, everyone grieves in their own way. I know you will find your way, and you will find a time that's right for you. And then Charlotte says to Elizabeth, whatever you do, You keep that little boy of yours safe because you do not want to end up on this island. Oh,
Oh, it showed us where Charlotte has been just emotionally and mentally, and your heart breaks for her. It really
yeah.
does.
Yeah, for sure. Easter eggs or callbacks. So I thought of two. So the Charlotte Elizabeth conversation reminds me partly of the Rosemary Elizabeth conversation in season 8 in the finale, when they're in what is now Lee and Rosemary's office. So the Valley Voice. Elizabeth hadn't chosen Nathan or Lucas yet. I know. Sorry, McGarry's, that we're going there, but it is a great callback.
Mhm.
So we hear, Elizabeth say to Charlotte, I know you will find your way. Rosemary in the season 8 scene says, you lost your husband, you will find your way.
Yes, that is such a great callback because it's those same words
Yeah.
being spoken again. Yeah.
hmm And then also Nathan telling Ned about, he's in the market for an engagement ring. It
Mhm.
reminds me a little bit of the scene. I can't remember what episode. I think it's the season 2 finale, but it might be the episode before that when Jack walks into the mercantile because he had already ordered the ring and he asks Ned, something along the lines of, is it here yet? And then there are those two women standing off to the side, and, Ned says he'll check, and of course the ring has arrived. And he's like, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah. Yes. You have a great memory because I didn't remember that, but that's a great callback.
Thanks. And I love the facial expressions of the two women in that scene.
Yeah. The extras had great expressions this episode. They did their job very well.
Yes. And then I think that wraps up that segment. So, Faith and Frontier, central themes of the episode.
Well, definitely, we talked about it earlier, but definitely a theme of moving forward and growth, and obviously, such a theme of love,
Mhm.
romantic love, family love, a theme of respect, especially for Nathan. And family, just a theme of family, Charlotte and the Grants and Elizabeth and LJ, just, I mean, they're a blended family now, and it's so beautiful.
Yes, it is. So, I wrote down blessings for
Mhm.
obvious reasons. Nathan getting both Charlotte and Jack's blessing, healing and moving forward. That fits, I think, with both Nathan
Mhm.
and definitely Charlotte.
Mhm.
Charlotte more so with, moving on from that grief of losing Jack.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
And of course, Nathan more so, healing from his past with the guilt and moving forward as he proposes to Elizabeth.
Yes, finally, it's
Yes.
finally happening.
Yes. And then community, I'd say fits Mike and May with the clay making scene with Elizabeth and Allie. There wasn't a lot of community scenes in this episode except for the clay making scene. But it
Mhm.
was still a great scene.
It was a great scene,
Yeah.
and it was fun to see
Yeah.
the four of them together. We've never had a scene with just the four of them.
And then justice, that fits, of course, with the investigation and Nathan, Bill, Georgie, and Rosemary working together to find the truth, and Rosemary doing the drip test. And then trust in relationships is another theme, specifically with Lucas
Mhm.
and Edie.
Yes, absolutely. Completely agree with that.
What would you say is a life lesson or message that you took away from this episode?
I think a life lesson is definitely it's okay and it's good to move forward in life despite what's happened in the past. And it is so important to honor your loved ones who who have passed and are no longer with us, but also, continuing to move forward, with your own life. And it is possible to go on and find a new way. And I don't want to say like new, but like kind of new extended family. And I think the message is these situations happen in real life. It's not just on TV. But I think When Calls the Heart is just showing such a great example of acknowledging and honoring the past, but also showing you can move on in a healthy, positive way. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that this episode really showed us how important healing
Mm.
and letting go of the past is to
Mhm.
embrace, a new beginning, a new future. Like Nathan taking that next step with Elizabeth
Yeah.
and Charlotte moving on past her grief and just being grateful for her family that she has, and Lucas
Mhm.
embracing that new future with Edie. So, yeah,
Mhm. Very exciting. Yes, I totally agree with you.
yeah,
And just about Lucas quick, I really hope that he and Edie
yeah,
have some sort of moment of coming together because
yeah.
I love the two of them. I do. I think they are such a fantastic couple. So I'm hoping for all good things moving forward for them.
I think we will. And I think we've talked about this before, but if you're stuck in the past, then you can't move on. So,
Right.
you know, let go of that past
Mhm.
and embrace all the wonderful new beginnings.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. And like you just said earlier, we have seen, throughout these seasons and episodes, and clearly in this episode, how healing it is to move on from the past and finally move on and relieve yourself of fear and kind of being stuck. And we've seen just how that's been so positive just for so many of our characters. Mhm.
Did you write down a Bible verse that you think fits this episode?
Yes, I believe this is from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. It says, Two are better than one because they have a good
Okay.
return for their labor. If one of them falls down,
Yeah.
one can help the other
Hmm.
up. And my other one was Colossians chapter 3, verse 14. This is the verse that says, And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity.
And I wrote down Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. And I definitely think that fits with Nathan and Elizabeth and Charlotte and
Mhm.
even Lucas.
Mhm. Absolutely. They are all definitely
Yeah,
continuing to, find their new path
yeah,
and are definitely, all being guided.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And before we go on to our last segment, real quick, I just have to put in this request. We've already said it multiple times, but Hallmark, if you are listening, please, with a cherry on top, bring Brooke Shields back. We love Charlotte. Charlotte with the family is better than I could have ever imagined on this show.
Hmm. Girl, me too. I echo that. Please, 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 can we get Charlotte back, please? Her character and her presence this season exceeded all of my
Mhm,
expectations. Every single one. And
mhm,
I absolutely not only love the relationship she has with LJ and Elizabeth,
mhm.
but I am so in love with the relationship that she has with Nathan and with
Yes.
Allie. And she is clearly acknowledging all of
Mhm.
them as a family. She is clearly like telling Nathan, go propose.
Yes.
So she is on board. Can we
Yeah.
please get
Yeah. Season 14.
back? Yeah. And just how cool, just real quick, like how fun for Aaron to work with her again. How amazing for Kevin that he got to work with Brooke and their
Yeah.
chemistry was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. I'm so happy for all of
Yeah,
them.
same. So, going to looking ahead, what's to come in the penultimate episode, the end of the trial. I'll just start with the trial because we normally start with Nathan and Elizabeth. With this trial, I want to see a Clara Stanton bomb drop moment with Christopher.
Mhm. Girl, I do too. How amazing would that be? That'd be such a great callback too.
Yep.
Yep.
Christopher comes in with the transformer that just puts the nail in the coffin.
Hmm. Absolutely. And the actor, I haven't watched it yet, but the actor that plays Christopher, he just did an interview with Heart to Hearties, I believe. So that makes me think, he's doing an interview right before this episode. That might be intentional because
I
something with
think so.
Christopher is about to happen.
Yeah. I think he'll come back.
I think he will. Oh, for sure. He's coming back.
Hmm. And James Drew Dean is fantastic.
Yes, thank you. Oh, good memory. He is. I'm
Yeah.
so glad he came back this season.
Yep. We need a Claire Stanton in the courtroom 2.0
We
scene.
do. We absolutely do.
That scene is one of my favorite mic drop moments of this entire series. I'm Clara Stanton, Peter Stanton's widow. Like,
It's,
what?
yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's such a powerful moment.
And I'm not laughing of Clara being a widow, just the moment itself, just like mic drop, like nail in the coffin for the Pacific Northwest Mining Company.
Yes, exactly. Yes, no one saw it coming. So good.
Even Henry Gowan and his attorney
Hmm.
did not see that coming. They were
No,
like, where was she on the witness list?
right, right. Yes. She just came in like, I'm here.
And I'm sure we'll see some movement with Lucas and Edie, which I can't wait to see them come back together somehow.
Me too. I hope they really
Yeah,
make things official before the end of the
yeah,
season because I think it's about time. We love them.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Let's give Lucas some
yeah.
happiness.
And how ironic is it? Not in a negative way, but for Lucas and his relationship that 3 seasons earlier in episode 11, Elizabeth broke up with him.
Mhm.
And now he's on the precipice of a relationship with Edie. Maybe
Mhm.
even this episode making things official. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That makes sense. No, girl, that totally makes sense. And I am really hoping, really, really hoping that
yeah,
that happens for
yeah.
him.
I think what I meant to say is how ironic that it's both episode 11.
Yes. Well, that could very much be intentional. Like he's been now on this governor journey,
Yeah,
for few years now. And so, he has now this woman in his life that he obviously cares for very much. And I do want to see Lucas
yeah,
happy and in love again, and
yeah,
Edie too.
yeah.
And they definitely are into each other. So
Oh,
let's
mm,
wrap this up.
yes. And then the big one, Nathan and Elizabeth. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about when everyone thinks the proposal engagement is going to happen. And I'll just say it right now. I just do not see them making that the last scene of the season. I do not.
Yeah, I hope it's not at the very end because selfishly, we want it before that.
Yeah. I'm just not getting the impression that they're going to make us wait that long from the interviews that we've seen, especially from Joy and Allie.
Mhm. A moment, which we're pretty sure they're talking about the engagement, has been talked about a lot.
Mhm.
I hope it's given, I think the time that it deserves and that it's not a last minute thing.
It'll be given the time that it
Yeah.
deserves. I mean, they've said, Joy specifically, that we will love it. So,
Yes. and that we'll be satisfied.
Yes.
So let's go.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it sure is. I really, really believe we'll be so happy.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see this proposal and this
No.
engagement and what Nathan says and the ring.
I know. I know. Me too. It's almost surreal. Like, okay, now it could happen at any time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared, but I'm so excited.
Yes. I am not ready for the season to end, but it's going to be a great final 2 episodes of the season.
I can't believe we have 2 episodes left. The season has gone by so fast, but I have enjoyed it so much. And oh my goodness, I am just so excited. We're just at the doorstep
Yes.
of an engagement happening. And I am so thrilled. I can't
Yes.
wait.
I can't wait either. And of course, we know Elizabeth is going to say yes. I kind of hope her response is similar in a way to how Shane responded to Oliver's proposal in Signed, Sealed, Delivered. You know, before he kneels, he says, "Don't look at my tie, look at my eyes, and listen to my heart." And then he gets down on bended knee and proposes, and he stands up, he puts the ring on her finger, and she says something about, is this what all that contemplating was about? And he asks her a question. I think it is, what is it you're contemplating? She doesn't say a word. She just takes his tie and she just pulls him in for a kiss.
Oh, it's so good. It is such a great proposal.
Yeah.
I would be so happy if it was similar to that. Yeah.
Yes. Not necessarily a tie pulling, just, her not even saying anything. She's just crying in happiness and she just wraps her arms around him and kisses him.
Mm-hmm. Just no words needed. She just seals it with a kiss,
Yes,
and that's her answer. Yes. I would love that. Oh my
yes,
goodness. I love that idea.
yes. Or her just saying yes and then she pulls him in for a kiss.
Yes. Yes, please.
So excited.
Oh, me
We're so
too.
close.
We're so close. Friends, it's happening. It's happening. We're
It
so
is
close.
happening.
Oh my gosh. And then I can't wait to celebrate.
Yes. Add in the gif from the office of it's happening! It's happening!
That's going to be us. Like the moment we know it's happening, like, ah! Oh man. I
Running around our house.
don't think we're going to be able to sit still. All of us are going to just be like, nope, not sitting still. I'm up, I'm down. What?
Oh my goodness. But anyway, Hearties, I think that concludes our review of When Calls the Heart, Season 13, Episode 10. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your thoughts about the episode and any predictions you have for the last 2 episodes of the season in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of our reviews and any interviews, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube and follow along on Spotify. And make sure to hit the bell so you are alerted when those new episodes are posted. You can also find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. And you can find Brennan on Instagram at West Hardy and Rom_Com Love. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next week. We love y'all. Bye!
Bye.